Hey guys, Pranay here again for IEOR 190G. So in this post, I'm going to talk about the top 5 predictions my top 5 predictions that turned out to be false from the list that we were given in class. So these predictions, my top 5, aren't in any particular order. So I'm just going to state a quote for that prediction and then give my explanation for why I like that prediction. So the first quote is, the Americans have need of the telephone, but we do not. We have plenty of messenger boys. And Sir William Preece, the chief engineer of the British Postal Office, said this in 1878. So this is a classic example of back then the British had just lost 2 different wars to the Americans, and so they might have been a little bit upset, a little bit jealous of the Americans. And so when the Americans started coming out with the telephone, they did not want to rely on this invention, the American invention, in their own country. So they believed they had the workforce necessary to deliver messages by hand and in person. And they might have had the workforce necessary, but what they didn't realize was that telephones are just much more convenient. You can instantly contact someone anywhere in the world, right? And messages sent by hand, they can get lost. It take days, months, even years to reach another place, and so information takes a lot longer to reach from one starting point to an ending point, which can lead to a lot of confusion. Whereas with telephone, you can instantly contact anyone you want. And now today, like when you need crucial information sent, the best option is to either use email, which this isn't talking about, or just call someone, right? The next top 5 prediction would be, no, it will make war impossible. And this was said by Hiram Maxim, inventor of the machine gun. In response to the question, quote, will this gun not make war more terrible? End quote. And that question was from Havelock Ellis, an English scientist, in 1893. So the motivation behind the question is pretty clear. If you have a automatic machine gun that's firing tons of bullets per round really, really fast, won't it kill more people, make it more easier to kill people? And so when Hiram Maxim said no, it will make war impossible, I'm assuming that his thought process would include thinking about the fact that if your opponent has a machine gun, you have a machine gun, and you know like many people will die, is there any point to going to war? Maybe you should just try to resolve it peacefully. Obviously, this is not the case. Machine guns are used in war now, and many more deadly weapons have been created. And so unfortunately, the machine gun did in fact make war more terrible. We would have hoped for it to not be so, but that is the unfortunate case. The next prediction I really liked was, quote, if excessive smoking actually plays a role in the production of lung cancer, it seems to be a minor one, end quote. And this was said by W.C. Hooper of the National Cancer Institute in 1954. So this prediction is kind of actually really depressing. We believe that the scientists and like the people we hear from the National Cancer Institute, we would like to think that they would give us accurate information that would really benefit us and that we can follow to prevent cancer. And when someone from the National Cancer Institute comes out and says that, oh no, smoking is fine, it won't give you cancer, people will believe that. And it's obvious, like now we know that cancer 100% leads to lung cancer. It's really bad for you. And it's just really sad that this person obviously did not conduct the proper research or experiments or like talk to the right people needed for him to get proper information. Or he may have just been bought out by lobbyists in the smoking industry. But it's obvious that he was giving the people back then wrong information. And it maybe led to a lot of people smoking who would not have smoked if they knew about the actual harms of smoking. So this was a really, really sad prediction, and I picked it because we should keep in mind that, or at least people like in these positions of like responsibility and power should keep in mind that they need to do the proper research to give us the proper information so that we can live safe lives. The next prediction I really liked was that, quote, there is no reason for any individual to have a computer in his home, end quote. And this was said by Ken Olsen, president, chairman, and founder of Digital Equipment Corporation, in a talk given in 1977. So I like this quote because it's obvious that now everyone has smartphones, has smartphones in their pockets, and every single person has a computer. And it's almost impossible to go to a college and not have a laptop because you need it for essays and projects and everything. And so it's obvious that this Mr. Ken Olsen, he didn't have a really imaginative brain. He didn't really think out of the box. He thought the absolute necessity, like, why would people need a computer? Yeah, back then it's obvious that people didn't need a computer, but it would have been nice to have a computer. And so he wasn't really imaginative, and he just focused on the bare necessity instead of luxury for people. And so his company failed where other companies succeeded, as he wasn't able to get into the market with a personal computer. And that's probably the biggest reason why Digital Entertainment Corporation is no longer a company. And the final prediction that I really liked was, quote, "There will never be a bigger plane built," end quote, a Boeing engineer. And this is after the first flight of the 247, which was a twin engine plane that holds only 10 people. So if people had just listened to that quote and not make bigger planes, now today we would only have planes that carry 10 people everywhere. And this obviously would not be feasible in our world because every second there are hundreds of thousands of people in the air flying. And if we only had planes of 10 people, it just wouldn't be possible. Now we have planes that fit hundreds of people. And so it's just really cost effective, and it's really much more convenient to that we're thankful that these Boeing engineers didn't listen to this one engineer and actually focus on improving their planes. And so those are my top 5 predictions that turned out to be false from class. Thank you guys.